This was the most boring video you have ever put out, Krebsy. Yes, this is the way that I wanted to start off this video, this episode of Burning Questions, where I answer your guys' burning questions and also respond to the many silly statements that I get in the comment boxes on my various videos. The most boring video you have ever put out, Krebsy. That is the tone of this episode we have already set. Without ado, let's answer some questions. Shit! What? How am I supposed to answer this one? I can't read this writing. Beaughfighter, World of Warplanes. I see Beaughfighter and World of Warplanes. I don't know how the two mix. Perhaps we would have to fill in the blanks somehow. I don't know what he's trying to ask me. I don't speak Russian, unfortunately. I'm not fluent in that language, nor do I know how to even start to decipher those letters. What I don't understand, though, is why can games, if it's a Russian game, why don't they have their own literal translation of, say, World of Warplanes, or something like that, or War Thunder? Why don't they just literally translate it into whatever it would be in Russian? I think that would make sense. So let's start off with another good question. This time one that we can understand. What about a weekly Q&A, like Mingles with Jingles on every Monday? Yeah, I guess you could sort of think that this might be a Q&A, but it's not really in the same sort of style. Mingles with Jingles. I think Jingles likes to do his by properly responding to people's questions. Mine is a little bit of a different style. And it's just the way that I am. I like to bring satire. I'm not very serious when it comes to a lot of things. It's just the way that I am. Plus, I'm responding to statements, answering questions. It's my own style of doing things. So will I be doing this every Monday? Perhaps. I'd like to say that it's going to come every Monday. But again, I'm not a serious person. I'm not going to say, yes, every single Monday will be Burning Questions. Just depends how lazy or how motivated I am. Hey Krebs, when will you post Jets Part 2 on your YouTube? Oh my gosh, I've been getting so many questions of this lately. Ever since I posted Jets Part 1, people have been asking me in-game, in the comments, where is Jets Part 2? Guys, Jets Part 2 is coming soon. That's all I can say. It's coming soon. There has been so many things going on in the last few days with tanks that I just had to jump onto it. Jets will still be around. After all of this tank stuff has been out of the way with, I will get onto Jets Part 2 very soon. It will be epic. And I won't forget, Juan Senyes. Jets Part 2, please. Don't forget to show the cockpit. K, thanks, bye. I won't forget to show the cockpit. K, thanks, bye. Back to you, Juan Senyes. More serious question. Or more like a serious point. I hate my Germans. The wings get shot up to uselessness almost instantly, and their shots are weak as well. I literally went after one guy in a match with my Tier 6 Heavy Fighter and my Tier 6 BF-109. After the match, it showed 46 shots, one guy, and he never went down. Can you say pretty weak? And most of the other nations can get rockets. Germans get bombs. Dash, underscore, dash. Sure, you can unlock cannons, but they're most likely as useless. Do you really think the Germans are that bad? Memory 11212, I have a feeling that you haven't played the Germans all that much. It seems like you've only gotten up to Tier 6 of the Germans. The Germans, fair enough, at low tiers they might not be the very best. No one ever said that the HE-112s were star fighters. No way. But it doesn't really get better for the Germans until the BF-109s come out. I've heard a lot of stuff with the BF-109E1 that it's superb in historical battles. Those machine guns and high ammo capacity are excellent. Once you get to Tier 6, you get the BF-109E3, which starts to bring some cannons. That's when you'll start to dish out some actual firepower. Oh, but wait. Once you actually level up a little bit more, the BF-109's F4s. Wow, that is going to be where the fun starts. Multiple cannons. 4 cannons of fury. It is godlike. Then, at Tier 10, the Focke-Wulf. The Focke-Wulf A5. 4 cannons from the get-go, 2 rockets that you can upgrade, the next Focke-Wulf, 6 cannons that you can get. The Germans are not terrible planes at all. In terms of fire output, they're some of the strongest in the entire game. They don't die easily as well. I've flown out the Germans multiple times in arcade and historical battles, and they've survived plenty of lengths of time due to their good structure, their armored capacity. They can stay aloft for a while. I don't know what you're doing that makes you get shot down so easily. I have a feeling you might be using lower tier planes like the HE-112, the MC-202. Those things are low tier. The Germans aren't a great highlight at low tiers. I think, my man, Memory11212, you're gonna have to stick with it a little bit longer. With regards to one of my latest videos, the hidden power of the Japanese, it was a fun video where I showed how you could become an amazing Japanese pilot by simply unlocking their hidden power, noodles. I got a lot of comments saying, yes Krebsy, it was very funny, but it's maybe kinda sorta racist. I don't think you people really know what racism means. Now, I'm not gonna go to a dictionary and pull out an actual definition, but racism in its heart, in its core, is trying to be derogatory. It's trying to take a class, a race of people, and put them in a stance where they're lower than other races of people. That's not what I was doing. What I was doing would be something called stereotyping. Every culture has stereotypes. People have stereotypes. So you can find stereotypes literally everywhere. I'm sure you have even joked about some sort of stereotyping. That is stereotyping, where you take a culture, see something that you can generalize about it, and then make some fun from it. Not poking fun at them, but having fun with them. And before we finish this one off, this statement, I get a number of people that say Japs is a derogatory term. I can understand that. I can understand why people would think that Japs is a derogatory term. But is it really? I would say that's more so of a shortened way to say the Japanese. It's like how people say that Polish people are Poles. Like myself, I'm a Pole. I really am a Pole. Honestly, I am 100% Polish. Do I take offense when somebody calls me a Pole or something like that? Or somebody says somebody about Poles or Shemafest? No, I don't. I just know that they're stereotyping or shortening Polish to Poles. There is nothing offensive that I find about it. And in fact, I think it's just being too PC. LOL, Krebs. How do you keep yourself from laughing? Well, it's quite easy, Hippo Ace. You just do this. And then you have a rant by Celso Augusto Muniz on a very old video when I first started making War Thunder. It's actually when I used to number my videos. War Thunder number 5 is the Beaughfighter OP. He writes, OP? Bitch, please. It is not OP. It was made to be a long ranger attacker / heavy fighter. And that's what it is. Do you even imagine the power of 420mm cannons and 850 cals? It's not OP. It's the actual plane status. If you don't want to get killed by it, just don't misjudge it like you do with other heavy fighters, and you will be cool. You got 17 kills at arcade against lower tier planes. Try your luck against Russians and Japs at historical, and you'll see if it's OP or not. Man, Celso Augusto Muniz, I think you should realize when I post videos. The video was posted many months ago. In fact, I believe when I made that video, it was literally either the first or second game that I had in the Beaughfighter, and I went on my highest kill streak at the time, which was around 17 kills. It was crazy for me. I couldn't believe the power of the Beaughfighter. However, I will admit that I was a bit too quick on the trigger, and I did say it was OP. It isn't OP, having now used it many times and having garnered more experience in War Thunder. Yes, it is a very, very powerful plane, and if you want to be very technical as well, I'll correct you. Yes, it does have 4 20mm cannons, but it has 6 50 cals and not 8, and that's on the Beaughfighter Mark 10. On the Beaughfighter 6C, it only has 4 20mm cannons. But that's enough said. The main dishing power of the Beaughfighter is those Hispano cannons, the 4 lots of them. They do immense damage. They really do, and that's why I thought it was OP. But the thing about the Beaughfighter is that it's a heavy fighter. It's fair enough. It can turn all right, but it's not the best out there. If you're a competent pilot, you have situational awareness, you're looking around you. If you see a Beaughfighter flying down at you, you should probably get the hell out of the way, because if you don't and you're flying in a straight line, that's a perfect target for a Beaughfighter and they're going to wreck you. If you are a bit competent and you have situational awareness, you see a Beaughfighter coming at you, simply turn. The Beaughfighter cannot keep up with turns. The 6C has a better turn time than the Mark 10. However, just about any fighter will be able to outturn a Beaughfighter. And then, once that happens, you'll have an opportunity to kill that Beaughfighter that came at you. Now, what do you mean that I should try my luck against Russians and Japanese in Historical? Is that supposed to be like the 2 god factions of Historical? I don't quite understand. I've gone out into many games as the Brits, even using my Beaughfighter, and I've totally decimated Russians and Japanese. The Beaughfighter is a powerful plane, and it really just comes down to your opponent's skill and their awareness of what's going on. If they are competent, then the Japanese can be a bit of a nuisance. They can keep on turning and turning and turning, and then your Beaughfighter can't do anything to keep up with it. All they can do is try and speed away and try again for another pass. So is the Beaughfighter OP? No. Kearns, I have a question. Which is better, omni-purpose stealth or tracers? I have to compliment you on your great grammar right there, Maxon2244. But the question is, which is better, omni-purpose, stealth, or tracers? I personally, in all of my videos, I always use stealth ammo. And in a number of videos, I've talked about this as well. I always use stealth ammo for the highest damage output. The thing is, I see a lot of other good players out there, and YouTubers, that use tracer rounds or some sort of different sort of belt. They prefer it so that they can look at where their shells are going, so they can see where their shots are going to land. However, it doesn't mean it's the highest damage output. If you check the War Thunder Wikipedia, it should mention something about the ammo belts, saying that stealth should have the highest damage output, because the tracer rounds, all they literally are tracer rounds. They don't do any sort of damage. All you get from them is seeing where the round goes. So that lowers the damage output of your ammo belts, and that's why I use stealth ammo. I can feel a huge difference in terms of killing output when I use stealth or some other belt. Stealth is always what I tend to go for. Now then, some people would be afraid of using stealth. They can't see where their shots are going. In arcade, this isn't much of an issue because you have a marker showing you generally where you should be aiming. In historical battles in full real, it can be more important to have tracers. But if you've played arcade enough, you should get an idea of where you should be aiming, especially in historical battles. I don't need tracer rounds in historical battles. I can pretty much guesstimate where the shots should go. And you get that from experience. Fly some arcade and you'll know where to shoot. Ginbelg1 writes on War Thunder hacks plus aimbot exposed. Why the fuck would you cheat in a game like this? It's more than stupid. What are you gaining exactly? The chance to get banned? A lighter wallet? And all that to ruin your own gaming experience? Yeah, brilliant. The thing is, if you want to understand why somebody hacks, you have to imagine being in their shoes. Why do people hack in War Thunder, let alone any game? It's because they want to have an advantage over other people that those people can't have over them. That's one reason. Another reason might be because they want to get the fastest amount of kills possible so that they can earn either better stats, more in-game currency, level up faster, whatever it might be. There are multiple reasons. But sometimes a lot of times, these people will be bad players at the game. Sometimes they'll be very good players at the game, and they've reached their limit of their skill, and what they see is a next way to level up, so to say, is by using hacks, something to propel them forward. Those are a few ways amongst many other reasons out there why people might use hacks. Of course, it's not a good thing. It gives you an advantage that other people, simply put, don't have, and it ruins the gaming experience for other people, but not necessarily for themselves. Sometimes it might ruin it for themselves, but other times they might be having the time of their life hacking a game, using an aimbot, whatever it is. However, say if that hack ends up getting your account banned, you're going to have to make a new account. Say if that hack runs out, that aimbot is detected, and you can no longer use it, you still have your account. You're going to have to go back to killing planes normally, and that is going to ruin your gaming experience. You won't be able to get nearly as many kills as you previously had, so in the end, you are sort of ruining your gaming experience. I posted a video of War Thunder booth babes dancing at Igrmoir, and perhaps maybe not the most of clothes possible. Now, somebody asked, does anyone else want to see a video of Krebs mimicking the girls' moves? Well, it got 71 upvotes. Why would I ever want to... Two, Krebs' gaming fun. Hey Krebs, I play War Thunder as a bomber, mostly, so I get like 15 to 30 ground kills every arcade battle. Now, as the added tank, it's fun, but to players like me, we can't see the tanks, so we in huge bombers have to go down there and become easy kills for the fighters. But I have an idea. What is they add the AI ground targets too? But planes can see them, BTU, to make it fair so all bombers don't go attack only the AI. We can make so for the AI kill you get a lot less XP and lions for it that a normal tank player kill. But to make it even more fair, the AI can be killed by both sides, and plane and tank players. What do you think, Krebs? Sincerely, Rockus, aka Jason Games. Well, Rockus, aka Jason Games. I'm not sure if I'm too fond of the idea of AI tanks, but to be honest with you, I'm not even fond of the idea of AI planes. I don't really like how there's matches in War Thunder where there's AIs in it. All it means is that people might be more tempted, and actually a lot of times they are very definitely more tempted to kill AI, because those AI can actually add up to the same points as a normal player kill. So a lot of times you'll be seeing, for example in historical battles, it'll be more common that players will go kill AIs rather than focusing on actual players, because the AIs tend to fly out and buy planes, easy to kill planes, and then they amount to the same rewards as killing normal players. So I don't really like it, and fair enough if you reduce the income, maybe people won't go for it. But then again, I have a better solution. Why not just increase the waiting time slightly, maybe even double the waiting time? Say if the waiting time is normally 30 seconds, why not just wait a minute so that you can get an even more full game with players, so that there is no need for AI? I would prefer that a lot more. But, to be honest, I've received a number of comments of people saying that it's going to be hard to spot tanks on the ground from a bomber's perspective. I thoroughly have to disagree with you people, and the reason is because, have you not watched the video? It's very easy to spot tanks on the ground from a bomber's perspective. And just think of it, it's because the ground is stationary, there's not a lot of detail from a high bird's eye perspective, and also because everything is out in the open, if something is moving, it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Imagine, if you will, if you've ever played DayZ, yes, I'm throwing in DayZ, and you were in a helicopter. You could easily spot people running on the ground, cars moving on the ground, cars hiding between trees, stationary. And the same thing applies to this. You'll be able to easily see tanks moving around because they're going to stick out like a sore thumb from the rest of the stationary objects around them. Now, what makes me worried beyond even this is, say if people platoon up or squad up, 4 people, say for example, a number of them on the ground, perhaps a number in the sky. What they could easily do, the people on the ground could say to the one in the sky, "Oh, there's a guy attacking me," or "There's a guy around this corner. Can you go bomb him?" And then it'll be like, huh, right, easily spotted, go attack that tank, go kill it, without having to actually do any of the work from the sky. But even that, even if you don't have a squad, what you'll be able to do is just look at where the tanks are shooting. You could imagine, oh, my friendly tanks are shooting at that location over there. Could there perhaps be an enemy tank over there? Yes, that could happen. You might not even need to scout out for those tanks. Your teammates on the ground might actually do it for you. And then it could be just, it's something to think about. That's all. Well, that's the end of this episode of Burning Questions. Will I do another one next week? Perhaps. It all depends on my motivation and laziness. But in the meantime, you need new games, Krebsy. Your War Thunder addiction is getting out of hand, sir. Well, I'd like to officially announce to you guys that I am no longer going to do War Thunder. I am going to now devote my channel to the amazing game that is QWOP. Thank you, one and all. This is Krebsy, and I will catch you all later.